Have you ever looked at your garden and thought, why does my soil feel tired, no matter how much love I give it? Back in the day, many of us just tossed kitchen scraps onto a pile or buried them at the back of the yard, and somehow the soil stayed rich and our vegetables grew strong. But today, gardeners are asking a new question: fermenting or composting, which one really delivers the nutrients our plants need? I remember my grandmother's garden. She used to say her tomatoes tasted better than store-bought because she fed the soil better than she fed the family. And you know what? She may have been right. Stay with me because by the end of this video, you'll know which method truly boosts your soil's health. And let me tell you, the 10th idea I'll share is something most gardeners have never even tried, and it could change the way you look at garden waste forever. Hello dear friends, and welcome back to the Golden Years Lifestyle Hub. I'm so glad you're here, spending a little part of your day with me. You're about to discover simple, affordable, and senior-friendly ways to enrich your soil without backbreaking work or expensive products. Whether you're new to gardening or have been tending plants for decades, these ideas are doable for anyone, no matter your energy level or experience. And if you're joining us from the US, the UK, Canada, Australia, or anywhere in the world, you're part of this growing family of gardeners who believe that beauty and joy belong in every backyard. Before we dive in, don't forget to tap that like button and subscribe. It helps this channel reach more senior gardeners who are just waiting to rediscover the joy of gardening in their golden years. Section 1. Composting Basics. Let's start with something familiar: composting. Many of us have heard of it, maybe even tried it once or twice. Composting is simply letting nature do what it does best, breaking down old scraps and turning them into black, crumbly gold for your soil. Now, don't worry, this isn't complicated. All composting really needs is a mix of two things: greens and browns. Greens are your kitchen scraps like vegetable peels, coffee grounds, or even eggshells. Browns are your dried leaves, twigs, or a little shredded cardboard. Put them together, keep the pile moist like a wrung-out sponge, and let time do the work. Here's the step-by-step. First, keep a little container in your kitchen for peels, coffee grounds, and eggshells. That way you don't have to run outside every time you make breakfast. Second, when you add scraps to your compost bin or pile, cover them with something brown like dried leaves. That keeps things balanced and keeps pests away. Third, give the pile a gentle stir every now and then, like folding a cake batter. Now, some folks think composting means wrestling with a giant heap in the backyard. But let me reassure you, you don't need a big space or a strong back. These days you can use a small compost tumbler which turns with just a little push, or even a simple bin tucked in the corner of your yard. If bending and lifting is tricky, go for something waist-high so you're not straining your back. Here's a bonus tip for you: sprinkle in some crushed eggshells. They add calcium to the compost, which your tomatoes and peppers will absolutely love. My grandmother swore by it, and I'll tell you, her tomatoes grew like champions. And remember, you don't have to do this perfectly. Even if you forget to turn the pile or your mix isn't exact, nature is patient. She knows what to do, and over time you'll still end up with rich, healthy compost. Think of it as giving your garden a slow-cooked stew. It takes a little time, but the results are worth it. Section 2. Fermenting Basics. Now, composting is wonderful, but let's talk about something you might not have tried before: fermenting. Some gardeners call it the new kid on the block, but honestly, it's been around for centuries, just in a different form. You've probably heard of fermenting when it comes to sauerkraut, pickles, or even yogurt. Well, fermenting your kitchen scraps works in a very similar way. Here's how it goes. Instead of tossing scraps onto a pile, you put them into a special bucket called a Bokashi bucket. Each time you add scraps, you sprinkle a little bran that's been inoculated with helpful microbes. Then you press it down, seal the lid tight, and let those microbes go to work. Within just a couple of weeks, those scraps are partially digested and ready to be buried in the soil. Think of it like pre-chewing. When you add it to the ground, the soil organisms finish the job quickly, and your plants get a fast, nutrient-rich meal. It's almost like giving your flowers and vegetables a quick energy drink. Now, here's the part I think seniors will love. It's so simple. You don't need a big yard, a strong back, or months of waiting. You can keep the bucket right under your kitchen sink, add scraps as you go, and let the bucket do the work for you. That means no turning piles, no hauling wheelbarrows, and no waiting until next summer. And here's a neat bonus tip: as your scraps ferment, you'll notice a little liquid collecting at the bottom of the bucket. Gardeners call it Bokashi tea. Dilute it with water and use it as a liquid fertilizer. Just a splash around your roses, your potted geraniums, or your vegetable beds and they'll perk right up. I know some of you may be thinking, well, that sounds a little too fancy for me. But trust me, it's just a bucket with a spigot at the bottom. Easy to use, easy to manage, and very forgiving. It's a wonderful option if you want quicker results without the heavy lifting. And just like composting, it doesn't have to be perfect. Gardening isn't about perfection, it's about joy, creativity, and letting nature lend a hand. Section 3. The Showdown: Nutrients for Soil. So now that we've talked about composting and fermenting separately, let's bring them face to face. Which one really delivers the nutrients your soil needs? Think of this as a friendly garden showdown. No losers here, just two different champions. Composting is the steady classic. It takes a little time, but what you get is this rich, dark humus that not only feeds your plants, but also improves the structure of your soil. It makes the soil lighter, holds moisture better, and slowly releases nutrients over months. Compost is like that slow-cooked stew on the stove, the kind that takes all afternoon but fills the house with comfort. Fermenting, on the other hand, is the quick helper. Because those scraps are already partially digested by the microbes, your soil organisms break them down in no time. That means your plants get fast access to nutrients, especially nitrogen, which leafy greens love. It's like the pressure cooker version of dinner, ready in a fraction of the time but still nourishing. So which is better? Well, here's the truth. It depends on what your garden needs and what works for you. If you have the space and don't mind waiting a bit, compost is a wonderful all-around soil builder. If you want something quicker, easier on the back, and perfect for smaller spaces, fermenting might be your best friend. Here's a touch of humor for you. Composting is like writing a long love letter to your soil, while fermenting is like sending a text message with a big kiss emoji. Both get the job done, just in different ways. And here's something I really want you to remember. Neither method requires perfection. You don't have to stir the compost pile every week. You don't have to measure out your Bokashi brand to the exact teaspoon. Both of these methods are forgiving, and both will bless your garden with healthier, happier soil. Section 4. 10 Practical Tips. Alright friends, now let's get practical. I've got 10 simple tips for you, each one designed to make composting or fermenting easier, more effective, and perfect for gardeners in their golden years. And remember, stay with me, because tip number 10 is something most gardeners don't know about, and it might just change the way you feed your soil forever. Tip 1. Start small. You don't need a big compost heap that takes over your yard. A simple bucket, a bin, or even a countertop container is enough to get going. Tip 2. Chop your scraps. Cutting up vegetable peels or tearing larger pieces makes them break down faster. Think of it as giving your soil a head start. Tip 3. Save those eggshells. Crush them up and sprinkle them in your compost or Bokashi bucket. They add calcium, which your tomatoes and peppers will thank you for. Tip 4. Hold on to those autumn leaves. Bag them up in the fall and use them throughout the year as browns to balance out your kitchen scraps. They're free, plentiful, and nature's gift to gardeners. Tip 5. Keep a little scrap container in your kitchen. That way you're not running outside every time you peel a potato. Just empty it into your compost or fermenting bucket once a day. Tip 6. If you're fermenting, don't forget the Bokashi tea. That liquid that collects at the bottom of the bucket is a powerhouse. Dilute it with water, and you've got a natural liquid fertilizer for your houseplants, garden beds, or even your roses. Tip 7. Mix your finished compost into potting soil for container gardens. It's like giving your potted plants a gourmet meal without spending a penny on store-bought fertilizer. Tip 8. Try alternating. Use compost for long-term soil health and fermenting for quick boosts. It's like having the best of both worlds, steady nourishment and fast results. Tip 9. Share the love. If you find yourself with more compost than you need, pass some along to a neighbor, a friend, or even your local community garden. Trust me, gardeners will always welcome it with a smile. Tip 10. The special reveal. Here's the one I promised you, the secret most gardeners don't know. If you layer your Bokashi fermented scraps into your compost pile, you'll supercharge the whole process. The fermentation jumpstarts the composting, making everything break down faster and more nutrient-rich. It's like giving your soil a double shot of espresso. Not only do you speed things up, but your plants also get the benefit of both methods in one. Isn't that exciting? Instead of choosing composting or fermenting, you can actually use them together to get the very best results. So let's take a gentle moment to look back at what we've learned today. We explored composting, the steady traditional method that builds soil slowly but beautifully over time. We talked about fermenting, the faster microbe-powered method that gives your plants nutrients in a hurry. And then we discovered how the two can actually work together, especially when you layer fermented scraps into your compost pile for that powerful boost. Along the way, you picked up 10 simple senior-friendly tips to make the process easier, from saving eggshells and autumn leaves to sharing extra compost with neighbors to that special #10 secret most gardeners never try. And here's what I want you to remember: there's no right or wrong choice. Gardening isn't about perfection, it's about joy. If you choose composting, you're building soil like a slow-cooked stew. If you choose fermenting, you're giving your plants a quick, rich meal. And if you do both, well, your garden will be smiling right back at you. Now, I'd love to hear from you. Have you ever tried composting, fermenting, or maybe both? Do you have your own soil enriching secrets passed down from parents or grandparents? Share them in the comments below. Your wisdom might just inspire another senior gardener somewhere in the US, the UK, Canada, Australia, or anywhere in the world. And before you go, don't forget to like this video, subscribe, and share it with a friend who loves gardening. Every click helps our Golden Years Lifestyle Hub family grow, so together we can bring more beauty, peace, and joy into gardens everywhere. As always, my dear friends, remember this: your garden doesn't need perfection, it just needs love. Every peel, every scrap, every handful of compost or fermented soil is a gift back to the earth. Keep smiling, keep planting, and keep blooming in your golden years. I'll see you in the next video.